Well, hello, school counselors and school counselors to be. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel, The Inspiring School Counselor. And today I just wanted to talk to you guys about a tragedy that took place. Some of you may have heard, some of you may have not heard, but in Nashville, Tennessee, there was a mass shooting that took place at Covenant School. It was a Presbyterian private school in Green Hills, a neighborhood of Nashville, Tennessee. 6 people had died, 3 of those being 9-year-old children. The other 3 were the staff. And the perpetrator also was shot and killed by police. One of the things that I do want to say is, my heart just goes out to the family, to the students, to the faculty, staff, and those that are just in that surrounding area. I wanted to get on here to talk to you guys from the aspect of being a school counselor and how you can just help your school heal and just overcome things such as this. There is a list of things that can take place, not just mass shootings. It can be death of a teacher or a student, a sickness such as COVID, tragedies such as dealing with weather, whether a hurricane, tornado, tsunami, depending on where you're at. There's things that us counselors can do to help the victims and to help them through the tragedy that they have experienced and help them to heal. And so I wanted to talk about that today. The things that I'm going to be saying here is not limited to these things. If you have more that you can add to this list, please put that down in the comments below, because not only do I want to read it, but I know others would like to read it as well. Depending on the situation, is that the specific strategies in which you can provide and the activities and the resources that you can do as counselors is going to vary. The number one thing that I want to mention, because I feel like this is going to be vital, especially when it is that you are going to be helping out those that are in need of your support and your encouragement and your strength, is making sure that you yourself is in the right place. So many times us as counselors, we want to be that fixer. We want to be that one to help people through their tough times and through the things that they are experiencing. But we have to make sure that we are also taking care of ourselves so that we can help those that are in pain and that is in need. And so making sure that you get the necessary help, whether you have to talk to a counselor yourself, whether you have to do some self-care activities just to get your mind in the space to be able to be that support for those that are also going through and are suffering. Because the last thing you want to do is just to help somebody else that is in pain and is experiencing the pain that you are also experiencing, that you have not yet processed. The next point that I do want to mention is that you do not want to do this alone, especially when you are at a school that you are servicing a lot of students. And if you are also the only school counselor, you do not want to do this alone. You want to get help. Usually the school district is really good, at least the school district that I'm at, whenever there is something tragic that has taken place, whether it's a death of a teacher, whether it's a loss of life of a student, or maybe there's a massive shooting that taken place. My school district is really good about just reaching out to, other school counselors in the district, also reaching out to mental health therapists to see if they can also come to the scene to help provide counseling services to the students, faculty, and staff. You definitely want to be able to form an army that can help you take on a tragedy such as this or other tragedies, okay? So don't do this alone. If you're not a part of a school district, maybe you are a private school or something of that sort, then you really would just want to talk to the administrator and see if it is that you can reach out to other agencies that can help you take on the tragedy that has taken place so that you can provide help for those that are in need. I actually want to take the time out to share the experiences where my school district had reached out to other counselors, and me being one of those counselors, to go and help another school. One of the instances I had to be sent out, this is actually when I was doing my internship, and I was with my school counselor supervisor, and she actually got a call that there was a death of a teacher and they were needing school counselors to go out and help. And that was an eye-opening real experience, and I was able to really see how a school district really just unifies to help others that's within the school district to make sure that they are getting the help. And so whenever I went, I was able to talk to students. Even one particular student that I came across, this student was really feeling down, really feeling sad, because the very teacher that passed away was the teacher that he was actually giving a hard time the day before. So just being able to be a part of that experience and seeing how really you just have to help students really process that moment and overcome that moment. And it's not going to happen in a day. It might take a couple of days, it might take a week, it might take months, it might take years, depending on how that impacts each individual. Another experience I had where I had to go to another school to help counsel students is when there was a parent that was very violent and was trying to get inside of the school, and then there were other students that was already in school, but they were in the cafeteria. But how it's set up is that there was windows in the cafeteria, so they were able to see everything that the parent was doing outside, and there was rumors. And so I was called there to help counsel those students. The students was really affected by it, and so just being able to be in the room, being able to help those students through that situation, and another opportunity for me to experience what it's like to be able to provide counseling to students in the times that they really need it most. Another experience I want to share with you guys was when I was called to the high school to help counsel students, because there was a call where a student was saying that they had a gun and that lives were going to be lost that day. And so gratefully it was a hoax, it wasn't real. But I mean, this whole school had to go on lockdown. It was very much real to the students, it was very much real to the faculty and staff. And just going over there after everything had simmered down, just seeing the students and their reactions and how scared some of them were, it was just really sad to watch. That you can do as a school counselor is just be in the room. Sometimes it's hard to even formulate words whenever you are experiencing something tragic. So just being in the room, allowing them to cry, giving hugs if it is that it's okay and they don't mind, just being there and letting them know that you're there to support them. And that was something that I also had to talk to my students that have never seen me before, but they knew that I was a counselor coming in. And I had to let them know, look, I'm here. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, whatever it is that you want to express, I am here. And being able to help them process through that. But sometimes the best healing is just having those moments of silence, having those moments where you are just giving them the floor to express how they feel and letting them know that they're not by themselves. Another thing that you can do as a school counselor is just not only be there in the room, but also being willing to provide answers, and not so much detail to where it is overstimulating or overwhelming to students, because I do believe there is a such thing as too much information that is given out, but enough information that can assure them everything's going to be all right. Law enforcement or whoever that is needed to be involved with the tragedy, they are taking the necessary steps to make sure everything is followed out the way it needs to be, because they are going to want to know, was it a rumor or was it not a rumor? And that is why it's going to be so important for you to talk to the administrator about how much information that you can give out to the students, because you do not want to overstep boundaries. This is also an opportune time for you to provide resources. And so being able to give them a list of counselors that they can talk to. And also along with those counselors, being able to provide things like a suicide hotline number that they can call. Because really when you find tragedies such as this that has taken place, or even others, it really gets some people in a really dark headspace to where they start second guessing their safety, to where they'll start worrying, to where they start being very fearful. And some may even feel like taking their lives. And so providing them with things such as the suicide hotline or counselors that they can go talk to is going to be very much important, so that you can make sure that you are supporting their mental stability. You don't only have to pass that out to students, faculty, and staff, but you can also pass that out to the parents as well. You can also put it up on the school's website or the school's social media platforms so that you can get the word out so that they know who their support system is and who they can go to. Other resources that you can provide for students, you can do lessons. Lessons are really going to help in the long term. And so talking about things like coping mechanisms and things that they can do to help them overcome feelings and emotions that they may have. Also talking to them about resilience. That's just some of the many things that you can talk to them about. You can also do individual counseling with students as well as small groups. Things that you can do for faculty and staff is you can send out newsletters to them that is going to just help them with the grieving process or coping and resilience and being able to acquire all the skills needed as they are still trying to push through their everyday lives. Hey you guys, so I want to add to that list of what you can do for your faculty and staff. One of the things that came to my mind is you can actually do check-ins with them. And so maybe it is that you can go to their classroom just to see if they're okay, maybe during their planning or during their lunchtime, or you can even see if they need like maybe a 3-minute or 5-minute break that you can go and relieve them. If it is that you have time for that. You might not even have time for that, but that is something that you can do. Maybe you can do it like on a certain day so you can see if you can work that out. Another thing that you can do is you can actually ask your administrator if you can utilize time during the faculty meeting, whether it's at the beginning or the end, to see if you can do like a meditation with them or just open the floor for just them to talk and express how they're feeling. And so those are things that you can do. Like I said before, if you can think of any, put that down in the comments. The ways that you can help parents is providing meeting sessions, whether it's through Zoom or in person. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the term coffee with the counselor, but that is a time where you can provide information to parents to help them also through times like this. The list can go on, the things that you can do to help those around you. But once again, I really want to stress, don't let you go lacking. Make sure that you are also getting the help that you need and also talking to the necessary people that can help you through the process. Because many times when we are talking to others about things that are heavy on the heart, if we're not careful, it can weigh on us and then we'll start feeling down. And there's a variety of counseling tools that you can use. Some of them I have talked about here on my channel, but like I showed you guys, I have my baby doll. I absolutely love. That is something that I use for my elementary students. It helps them with feelings and being able to process their feelings. Another counseling tool that I absolutely love is a game called Totika. I like to say it's Jingle with a twist, and it comes with these deck of cards that focuses on different subjects, and one of those being resilience. And so that is something that you can even pull out and you can even use with your students or the faculty and staff and really just get the conversation started and going. And so I do have a lot of those things that's in my Amazon storefront, so I will make sure that I put that down. If it is that you have anything that you can add to this, please put it down in the comments below, because I want to stress it again. Not only would I like to read it, but others would like to read it as well. Let's continue to pray for those that have experienced this horrible tragedy that took place in Nashville, Tennessee, as well as other places that are experiencing and have experienced, a tragedy that has taken place. The world that we live in, there's going to be crazy things such as this, but we as people have to come together and just strengthen one another and support one another. I thank you guys so much for your time. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. I'll see you guys next time.